Good afternoon, welcome to the shed. Just a little update on the Solar Goddess project, which I sort of shelved for a couple of weeks, but I've come back to it this week and I've had some moderate success. Now I realise moderate success is not exactly clickbait, is it? But that's what I got, so that's what I'm going to show you. So first of all, I'll show you the adaptations I've made to the mould. It's getting heavier and heavier. So I have built a mould sandwich. So I've gone back to loading the mould from the top, filling the mould from the top, and you'll see that I've thickened up the mould here. It is actually wedge shaped now. The reason that it's wedge shaped is that it will fit in, it will slide in here if it's lined up properly, and that will clamp the mould as it goes in. So the more weight I put in it, the tighter it gets. Also means I should be able to tap it out a bit easier. And it works okay. It's not brilliant, but it works okay. Yeah, so I thickened up the mould, added a wedge to it, and that's ready to go. So how I thickened up the mould, so this was the original template that I used, and I found that 1/4 of an inch was just not enough for the lead to pass through properly. So basically I rebuilt my mould, added some spacers the other way up, of course, lifted the mould up, re-poured around the edges, added the top, so that gave me an extra 1/4 of an inch on the mould thickness. So this is 1/4 of an inch thicker than it was, so it's now, well, 1/2 an inch, funnily enough. So yeah, that's how I did that. But it does make it a very, very heavy. Too heavy, really. But that's where the moderate success comes in. Oh, by the way, do you like me cutting mat? Serious YouTubers only get one of these. You have to be licensed to get one. Yeah, so this is where I've got to with the mask. Looks really good, however that is a hell of a lot of lead. That is the maximum capacity that my little saucepan will go up to. So and even then I had to do 2 pours. I don't know if you can see, but there is a seam there where I was just working out how much lead I actually needed. So I need another 3 or 4 kilos of lead. It's basically just too big for the equipment that I've got. So it is definitely being shelved for the moment, but I will return to it once I've got a bigger crucible or some kind of, you know, melting system that I can use. Okay, one more look. It's going to look good, but it is very, very heavy. Okay, so that's the update on that. So what am I going to be up to now? I am going to revisit the mask, the original Goddess, Lead Goddess. Oh, by the way, I've had a haircut. Some footage of the haircut, not the actual haircut, just the difference coming up now. Okay, so it's been about 3 months since I had a haircut. Tomorrow is my first lockdown haircut. So yeah, I'm going to do a before and after. This is the before. And this is the end result. Lovely. Impressive, huh? Okay, oh, it really feels good to have short hair again. Okay, so I'm revisiting this, the original Lead Goddess, which was the Victorian one. This thing. This is the one that I made, but even with that hollowed out back, it's still a little bit heavy. So and also it's got a curve to it, which makes it rather difficult to fit on walls. So what I'm going to do is redo half of this mould, keep this half, do another half, and basically build up a wall around there, flatten it out, thin out the lead required, and use my modelling clay technique. I managed to put my lead cast onto my remote control and turn myself off. Yeah, so I'm going to build up around the edges here, thinner, and then use my modelling clay technique to get as close as I can, so I use a minimum amount of lead. Yeah, so that's what's coming up soon. Hopefully that'll be a much cheaper version, because I'm charging 95 quid for these and they're not selling, obviously. I did manage to sell a couple of frogs though, so winner winner, frog dinner on that one, or frog's legs dinner. Yeah, so that's what's coming next. I shall do that within a couple of days, hopefully. So I haven't given up with the solar fountain completely. I'm still going to complete one. I just don't think it's going to be commercially viable at the moment to actually sell, so probably just make one for myself, maybe by doing a second pour. There is a seal there, sorry, a join there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, so I might make myself one just with a join, because I don't care, but I can't really sell them like that. So that's where I stand. If I do get a bigger some bigger pouring equipment, then I'll probably be able to do it. One more thing, in my tips video, I forgot to say that you should really make sure you do this outside. I did do some melting in the shed and I could smell the fumes. It's not a good thing, so I'm making sure that if I do use the lead, the gas to melt lead in the shed, that I'm not in here at the same time, so you've got to keep it well ventilated. So if you do it, make sure you do it in a garage with the door open, not in your shed like me. Cheers, thanks for watching.